Second Chance, The Devil's Mercy, by J.N. Wdowski. For your full enjoyment, be sure to read or listen to the end. Part 3, Wasted on Youth. If I listen to you, will you let me go? His younger self gave up trying to get his feet free. I told you I have no control over you being stuck, but you are, so you can listen to me. Niko decided to stay with being honest. I am only here to prevent you from making a great mistake. Beside that, it is wrong. Wrong? What do you know what is wrong or not? The boy replied. Only good thing about prison, which you are heading for, is you get a lot of time to read and think. Niko answered. One thing I learned is from reading the Analects written by some old Chinese dude named Confucius was his golden rule. I am paraphrasing, do not do to others what you would not want them to do to you. Yeah, well, my golden rule is, do it to them before they do it to you. The boy snickered. Niko was not amused by his younger self's snarky reply. Every time you steal from others, you are stealing the fruits from hours of their labor. You're stealing from them their ability to pay their mortgages or rents, feed their children. It is wrong. Why can you not see that? Knowing his own mindset at that age, Niko already knew why before the boy even answered him. They have insurance, the boy replied as Niko knew he would. Meaning their premiums will go up, meaning they either take home less profit or need to raise their prices on the community they provide for. Even worse, you may put them out of business because they can no longer afford the insurance. You are taking away their livelihoods. Niko tried to get the teenage boy to understand the bigger picture. Not my problem. The teenager responded, It is not my fault they are suckers. It is that attitude that has led Mom from hopping from man to man and being dumped and used by every man she ever wanted. Always trying to seduce, not for love, but for material gain. The men that did have the things she wanted, wealth and power. Once they were finished with her, they would just toss her aside like a used tissue. That's your do it to them before they do it to you mindset at work. And where has that mindset of hers left you? Street hoodlums replacing the real father we never had? What the fuck do you know, old man? The boy got angry as Niko's words hit too close to the truth. I know that being intelligent is learning from your own mistakes. Being wise is learning from the mistakes from others. You do not need to put your hand in the fire to learn it burns. Niko's frustration with the youth was beginning to rise. Learn from my mistakes, so you do not have to repeat them. What the fuck do you know about being 16? The boy spat out without thinking. You been 16 for what? 2 months? Niko answered. Yeah? The boy confirmed. I was 16 for 12 months, an entire year, Niko pointed out. I know damn well what being 16 is like, more so than you do. Whatever. The boy refused to listen. Niko's frustration with his younger self was turning into anger. Fine. If you don't care how your actions hurt others, perhaps if you learn how your actions will hurt us. Us? The boy snarled. There is no us, you fucking loon. If you head down this path, you will damn both of us to a life of crime, betrayals, lies, in and out of prison, and finally death, and actual damnation. Niko's anger and frustration began to bubble to the surface. He tried to calm himself by remembering what he had learned. Control one's emotions. Do not let your emotions control you. Maybe those are the mistakes you made, old man. I am not you, and I know what I am doing. I'll not be stupid enough to get caught. Cops are morons. He pointed his knife at the clerk frozen behind the counter. He's just another sucker. Throwing his life away for what pennies? Nope, I am smarter than that. I have the balls to do what that idiot is too afraid to do. I take what I want. And again, it is that way of thinking that will put you in a circle of hyenas and jackals, that will turn on you as soon as you turn your back on them. Once they think you are too weak and old, they will strike you from behind. Niko pulled up his shirt and turned to expose his raw red knife wounds to his kidney. I was shanked by one of my own lieutenants who thought he could fill my shoes. The boy was first shocked by the open bloody wound, but then rationalized it away. Hollywood gore, that's all it is. I am not fooled by it, and I would never be foolish enough to let someone shank me from behind. It is not movie makeup. If you are such a doubting Thomas, stick your finger in the wound. Niko turned his hips so the boy could see it better. What the fuck is a doubting Thomas? The young teenager had no idea what the reference was. Not important. The wound is real, and it will be your end when you reach my age, if this time you ever reach my age. Niko turned his wound away from the boy and lowered his shirt. Tonight you will kill a man and they will catch you. The boy stood up proudly. Really? He thought about it. Damn right I would. No one should fuck around with me. The boy began bobbing his head back and forth like a ghetto chick getting sassy. That was it. Niko lost all his patience with his younger self. His face boiled red with rage. You stupid little piece of shit! He lunged at the boy, knocking him flat on his back. His powerful right hand gripped tightly around the boy's neck. You goddamn fucking idiot! I am trying to save your life! Panicking and choking for his life, the boy's right hand felt around for his dropped blade. Finally, finding the blade on the asphalt, he gripped it tightly in his hand and instinctively plunged it into Niko's side. Niko rolled over, letting go of the boy. The boy, regaining his breath, knelt over Niko, and with all his might he thrust the knife into Niko's heart. As the life left Niko's eyes, time was released. The Mack truck suddenly roared past them. Hidden behind the 18-wheeler was a patrol car, which immediately pulled into the gas station forecourt. The headlights of the police car stopped upon the teenage boy, just as he stood above the dead body, blood dripping from his knife. Young Niko turned to run from the police, but tripped over his unlaced boots, falling face down onto the hard, wet ground. Freeze! The cops ordered as they both exited the cruiser, drawing their service weapons. At that moment, lightning flashed and rumbled. The downpour returned as the officers cuffed the young man. They began reading his rights as they picked him off the ground and walked him to the back of their waiting patrol car. 41 years later. It seemed like countless years that 56-year-old Nikolai Weiner had stood in the endless snaking line to have an audience with the fallen angel that ruled the underworld. The heat was unbearable. His feelings of hunger and thirst never subsided. He was tired and wanted to sit, but whenever his legs weakened and he attempted to rest, one of the red devil tormentors would lash out with their tails and whip him back to his feet. The thing that tortured him the most was an annoying nasal woman that kept screeching at him to stay on your feet, stay between the ropes. Between her screeching, she would blow a silver whistle into his face. He looked up at the massive oak doors ahead, waiting for his turn, to perhaps appeal his case, to only have a second chance. The end. To support the author, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to enjoy other works by J.N. Wdowski.